Discover Hydro, the best kept secret in fitness. Hydro is the state-of-the-art at-home rower that engages 86% of your muscles, delivering the ultimate full-body workout in just 20 minutes. From advanced to beginner, Hydro has over 500 classes shot worldwide and taught by Olympians and world-class athletes. For a 30-day risk-free trial, go to hydro.com and use code ROW450 to save $450 on a Hydro Pro rower. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW450.
It took a lifetime to find the person you want to marry. Finding the perfect engagement ring is a lot easier. At BlueNile.com, you can find or design the ring you've always dreamed of with help from Blue Nile's jewelry experts who are on hand 24/7 to answer questions, and the ease and convenience of shopping online. For a limited time, get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com. That's $50 off with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly. And this is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 6, Mafia Wives and Bad Vibes.
I think I had some bad vibes, but it was probably from the Mafia Wives theme, though.
I have a lot of critiques.
Oh, boy.
On the theme. There was not enough hairspray. There were not enough acrylic nails. There were not enough rhinestones.
Not enough gabagool.
The gabagool was definitely missing.
Severely lacking.
There was a charcuterie board.
A chart board, if you will. A charcuterie board, depending on what other shows you're watching.
We are going to be recapping the most recent episode of 1,000-Pound Sisters, by the way, if you understood the charcuterie board reference.
Specifically. Chart board, that's a more of a personal callback for us. Different.
That'll be over on our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod. I'm very much looking forward to it because it looks like Amy cooked up a little white chocolate Alfredo in the episode we're going to be talking about.
Shrimp white chocolate Alfredo. Not a lot of things that I would enjoy or put together in a dish, probably.
She's either a genius or she's going to make someone very ill.
Yeah, only time will tell. But the Bravo description for this one is Angie celebrates her 25th wedding anniversary with a Mafia-themed party. Whitney accuses Lisa of leading the rumor about her jewelry company. Mary and Angie accuse Heather of being two-faced. Brittany is caught in a love triangle. Boy, they're being really, really over the top with the descriptions for Brittany's involvement in her own relationship.
There is no story here, so they're really trying to create something for us. And so is Brittany, but they're doing or someone.
Somebody.
Was it the producers? Are they trying to make this interesting?
I feel like Whitney's husband, Justin, was trying to make things interesting by inviting the Osmond to crash the party.
I don't know. We'll talk about it. I know we have a lot of theories about what was going on.
A couple different theories, yeah. In terms of announcements, though.
Do I not get to say my episode description?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got so excited. I just keep forgetting to bring these up, so that's why I had them at the top of my list. I'm so sorry. The Carly episode rewrite description. Let's do that one. Oh, Maisie's going to do her own rewrite over here. She is scratching the bed, spinning, circling, and she's landed.
Plot.
Okay, good.
Angie leans into the rumors about her family. Mary is involved in a case of mistaken identity. Lisa proves she's got associates on speed dial.
Does she, or was she calling her husband to tell him to open an investigation?
No, I thought that was a random person.
Okay.
It was the private investigator that she claimed. Remember she said she had a cybersecurity team at one point? And everyone was like, girl, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So she had to call them to prove that they exist.
But I don't think that's who this was. I feel like this was her calling her husband.
They had a Chiron. That it was the person
No way.
You're going to have to go back and rewatch it. You got to watch more closely.
No way. I feel like they would not know what to do with it. What is this formal request? I'd be like, you have to fill out the form? You have to go to the website.
No, this is someone she works with on a regular basis.
Or send us an email.
They're on her payroll.
Calls? I feel like it's any sort of minor inconvenience that Lisa comes up in her life. She is immediately calling these people and imploring them to open an investigation because people are questioning Lisa's character.
Yeah, I mean, we need to see Lisa's phone bill at this point. I need to see how many minutes she's spending on the phone because she's talking to Angie for hours a day. She's got the 3 lawyers, the security guy that she's ready to call at any drop of a dime. She doesn't text anybody.
Lisa don't text. She's like Machete.
Don't put anything in writing. Maybe that is the most mob wife thing of the entire episode.
Maybe it is, in theory.
I know you were really jonesing to get to the announcements, so if you want to take the lead on those.
Okay, yeah. So for the announcements this week, our YouTube, we're over 500 subscribers. So thank you so much to everyone who's already subscribed. We're already on our road to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Carly doesn't like that, but we're YouTubers now, so we have to start using that verbiage.
Okay.
We're doing the YouTube. I didn't like it, but I'm going to keep it in.
The whole theme of this episode is Angie is throwing a Mob Wives themed anniversary party. It's their 25th anniversary with Sean.
So she's making up some wanted posters as the invitations for this party.
I loved this.
Okay, I had a different take on it. It evoked a different era for me because when I'm thinking wanted poster, I'm thinking like Wild West.
Okay, well, it was giving Prohibition mob wife to me.
And that feels very specific.
A little Al Capone.
Yeah, but this was more rootin' tootin' Wild West sort of.
Maybe it was just the way the posters looked.
I think it was partially.
They did them in Canva.
Yeah, most likely. Canva Pro.
Angie doesn't have someone on speed dial who can do graphic design like Lisa does.
Well, I don't think Lisa does either. I don't know who she has on speed dial anymore.
Everyone.
I don't know.
If you need something done, Lisa knows someone who can do it.
That sounds like a mob thing. Yeah. That sounds like connections. Yeah.
This is obviously very funny. Well, not only because they actually had someone who was on a wanted list on the show.
Yeah, they should have had a Jen Shaw wanted poster because
the missing one.
That was a real one that you could have used. You didn't need to make one in Canva.
It needed to be a wanted sign, but then the stamp found over the top of it.
Captured.
Yeah.
Serving time.
Wanted dead or alive.
Oh, no.
Captured. This is obviously funny because of also is it a joke? An accusation? It was an accusation that Meredith made last season about Angie being in the Greek Mafia.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those concerns were put to bed this episode because clearly Angie doesn't really understand Mafia stuff at all.
The party was lacking a little bit.
I would say very much so. She's not about that life, if that's how we want to frame it.
We're watching everyone get ready, and what did you think about the fashions?
Well, I think everything that Lisa did was with a fur, but she didn't have boots with the fur because that's different. That's not a mob thing.
Meredith did.
Oh, Meredith did. Sorry. Oh, I don't know why everyone was wearing all black, though. Why they thought that was a mob wife thing.
There was a lot of confusion on the theme, and no one was giving Carmela soprano in the way that they needed to be.
Yeah, this was all like mob wife at a funeral.
That could be appropriate.
But yeah,
in certain situations.
But it didn't match up with what we were thinking of.
I felt like Whitney was the most on point. And I think it was just because she was wearing a lot of Versace.
Which Lisa was very upset about. That she was also wearing Versace, and now this is ridiculous.
How dare she? There was like a list of like three designers. It was like everyone was wearing either Versace, Gucci.
Who did Heather have? Never heard of it.
I don't remember. Givenchy is another one. I don't know if I said that right, but I'm not that fancy.
Yes, Leonardo da Vinci. One of my faves. I'm not cultured. I'm not high fashion.
Also, I'm going to go with Whitney because her eyebrows were a bit dark.
Her hair was looking like old-timey, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, it had
I
a
feel
look.
like there wasn't enough volume in anybody's hair.
Well, that's true. I don't think they knew what to go for.
They really didn't vary their looks. The worst, in my opinion, Bronwyn
yeah.
and Mary.
Yeah,
They just went through their closets. I don't know what Bronwyn showed up in. It was very costume, that sequined skirt, but not the right kind of sequins.
Well, Bronwyn got there and she even admitted she felt like she was underdressed at the party because you went costume with it. So that's why you feel underdressed. You didn't dress up for well, I guess you did in some ways, but not in the ways that we were looking for.
Mary looked like she just dug through her closet and took out a pantsuit.
And it works. It worked for this.
That was the majority of them just took a blazer out of their closet and a chunky gold necklace, and they called it a day.
Meredith left her shades on for a good majority of the party. I don't know if she was just trying to get a couple drinks in.
Is that a necessity?
Maybe, yeah, that was just because she was just trying to get a few drinks in her, get back up to speed, and then she could take her shades off.
This is obviously going to be one of the Housewives events where everybody gets together and arguments ensue. Lisa was surprised that she even got invited to the party in the first place, but this is also a Housewives show, so you kind of knew you were going to be there.
I mean, everybody's kind of obligated to invite Lisa to things. She is the main villain for this season, and she is involved in every single person's storyline, whether you want her to be or not.
Everyone's trying to start a fight with her.
I think that's the issue, except for Heather, because Heather is very much catering to Lisa, I think, on a lot of things. And like Heather is kind of like the muscle for Lisa this season, where she's like the instigator who's going around and picking these fights.
I guess that's where I'm starting to feel like it just feels very manufactured, whereas you can very obviously tell like Whitney is an issue this season as far as trying to pin something on Lisa, like trying to force it. Heather is telling everyone's business to everyone, and so far no one has really caught on to it.
I think Bronwyn has at this point, because then Bronwyn tries to do her own little instigation this episode.
Well, I think that's why this episode turned out to be really enjoyable to watch, but I wasn't excited going into it, knowing that they were going to have this party and they were going to have all these interactions, because I really felt like it was just going to be everyone piling on to Lisa. But there's such a good variety of conflicts going on in the show.
Yeah, some of them, it just kind of fizzled because I think they realized that those conflicts didn't have the sort of season-long longevity that was available to them. So they just kind of phased them out. They were closing out a lot of things that we just don't need to keep focusing on. We can just leave that behind now and just move forward.
Please.
We tried it.
As Mary Cosby said, keep us out of it.
Well, yeah, Mary Cosby was involved in one where it sort of boiled up and then just reset.
Before they go to the party, though, Whitney invites Meredith out for something to drink. I don't know if there was food involved, was there?
I don't know if there can be. For Meredith, I think it's just liquid diet. Yeah, as usual.
A vodka soda.
Gross, yeah.
That's what she was drinking, just vodka sodas all night. That's why she needed the glasses the next day. They didn't want us to know exactly who she invited at first. And then we see Meredith walk in the door. And that's obviously pretty shocking because Meredith has been behind a lot of the rumors in the group in the past. Specifically, anything that happens to show up in your DMs on Instagram. And obviously, Whitney is stuck on this story about Prism.
Yeah, and she has some accusations to start throwing around now because she sourced her information very carefully from a podcaster who heard it from somebody who runs a social media site who heard it from a source.
But also not really, because the podcaster has come out and said that they did not confirm that Lisa was the one behind the rumor.
Wasn't a thing. So again, heavily vetted on this material that we are placing in front of her. So I thought this was funny, though, because it seemed like when Whitney was presenting the accusation that Lisa started this rumor on social media, Meredith kind of looked upset and sort of jealous. A little bit of jealousy, maybe.
I have a feeling that where else have we seen of Meredith Marks this season? She's just very absent. She's not involved a lot. Was she even in the last episode? We saw her practicing Hebrew, and then that was it.
Yeah, she did not go ziplining.
I kind of think that she knows who's behind these rumors, or it is in fact her, because the way she reacted when Whitney said with her full chest, "I know it was Lisa,"
She's like, I think you better check again.
It was very telling.
Yeah, like she knew who it was, and it's not Lisa. So I'm telling you you're wrong, but I'm not going to say outright that I know who it is, because then I would be obligated to tell you who it is.
She's trying to play it off like, well, I'm not going to jump on Lisa, because that's what the rest of the group is doing. And it feels kind of like that's what Whitney's trying to lead me to in this conversation.
But also check your sources. But like
but also check your DMs, because I sent you a message from a Finsta.
You're not sounding very credible right now. Who else is losing credibility? Robert Jr.
I don't know how to feel about this story, because now it feels like this is a storyline where we're just seeing Robert Jr. high on the stairs all the time in every episode. And they keep presenting it in a really comical way. And that's making me feel weird.
I don't know if this one was comical. This one, was it? Was it comical? It didn't feel funny to me. What was funny about it?
You know what? It's the surroundings.
Okay.
Let's be real. It's this house.
Yeah, it's not help. Again, if you're just walking, it feels like an episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse, where if you're walking into a room where your name is just plastered up above that door, it just feels like a cartoon.
That, and then it's the picture at the top of the stairs in the huge, chunky gold frame.
With the little Fat Albert hat.
It's not helping.
It's not.
The frame is like 2/3 the total size of the picture.
It's a lot of mat around there to set.
The house is just very confusing to look at. And then, was he wrapped in a blanket as he was walking up the stairs? Did I imagine that?
Yeah, I think you imagined that. I don't know why you pictured him as a frail peasant from the Middle Ages asking for alms for the poor.
Well, he has been asking for money every episode.
Every episode.
You cannot understand what he's saying. I cannot believe that they didn't caption him.
Yeah, there was none of that. Is the girl who's behind him, is that his wife?
It's his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the person that Mary Cosby is not a big fan of.
Well, clearly there's a reason to not be.
Seems to be a level of influence and under an influence that's happening here.
Yeah, Robert Jr. is not in the room with us.
Yeah, since this woman has come around here, it has changed things a bit. But also, Mary Cosby just telling him, hey, make sure you stay in your room because I have people coming over. I don't know if that's the best way to approach this situation.
That's what I thought they wanted us to laugh at.
Okay, well, that's not funny to me.
No, it wasn't.
That's scary. This is terrifying. And we're just kind of, to do that in front of the camera, to be like, hey, stay in your room so we don't see or hear you in your current state. But you're telling that in front of the cameras. There's other people who are going to see it. Not the one person, not Bronwyn, who's knocking on your door right now to drag in a huge set of flowers. What is the...
It was a giant orchid.
Okay, it was a very large orchid, but then Mary was also not opening the door any further to assist. She was just letting Bronwyn sort of navigate this and back this thing into her house.
She had to squeeze through the door.
With no assistance from Mary.
Also, you have a double door.
She only opened the one half and like a quarter of the way.
It's like the entry to a castle.
A third of the way.
Did you need a password? Is that what's happening?
Something happened. Yeah. Did you lift the drawbridge on your way in, or?
I was trying to figure out, is there a giant piece of furniture impeding the door from opening all the way? Because it seems like that would be the case in this house, but it's just Mary was not trying to help at all.
No, I think she was intentionally. She was even kind of scooching it a little bit closer. She's like, the air's on. I'm trying to keep the heat in the house. You know, something HVAC related, probably.
Trying to make sure none of Robert Jr.'s friends sneak in. Is that in poor taste?
I'm trying to keep the cloud of weed smoke that's out in the front. It's not weed.
It's not weed.
The chemical cloud that's in front of my house, I'm trying to keep that outside. I don't want it to get in here.
Bronwyn really loves the decor, which I guess we shouldn't be shocked by because her house is unique. I'm putting that in quotes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's equally as strange. They bond over having blue kitchens.
Very different blue kitchens, though.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, they're two very different tastes. Mary has like this old Regency thing going on. And then she thinks it's very regal and rich looking, but it's cheap and tacky. And then
dusty, crusty, I think, yeah.
Bronwyn has a very modern art museum thing going on that is also very tacky.
In different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same boat, though.
I think they both need to stick to clothes. That's the lesson here, is that you can be really interested in fashion, but it doesn't necessarily translate to interior design.
Or just taste in general. Yeah, things to be mindful of. But do we have it's a heartfelt conversation about grandparents? Not really. It was kind of weird.
It starts out with Bronwyn trying to talk about the situation with Gwen, but then we take a sharp right turn and we end up talking about Mary and Robert Jr., but not the things we should be talking about with Robert Jr. It's all about him not having a relationship with Mary's mother. And then it turns into why Mary doesn't have a relationship with her mother. So it's a real therapy session going on. And Bronwyn's she's going with the flow of the conversation, but it very quickly went from a conversation about what's going on in her life to being solely about Mary.
And then there's other people who are trying to get in on the conversation because Mary's landline house phone starts ringing off the hook. Was that the producer that was calling just to break this up? Because we were going way off track here. Was this going to be just a natural end?
Who still calls landlines? I don't know.
They've been trying to reach her about her car's extended warranty.
That's exactly who it is.
They've been trying very hard.
That or they're trying to pull voters. I don't know. I feel like those are the only people who are calling landlines anymore.
Home in the day, yeah.
Robert Jr. did not answer the phone. He was not helpful in that.
Yeah, it was CVS. Robert Jr.'s prescription has been filled.
It's ready for pickup.
No, I don't think he's getting his medicine from CVS.
No, it's the street pharmacy.
Oh, dear.
No, that's called the street pharmacy.
Oh, no.
The most relatable thing about Mary in this convo, though, is her complaint about her childhood, because I, too, grew up in an ingredient household, and I still have a lot of trauma from it to this day.
Yeah, you open a fridge, and it just has cabbage, and what was the other thing that she said? It was cabbage and pomegranate?
Cranberry.
Cranberry, yeah. It's, not much you can do with that.
Or cranberry juice, something like that.
Something.
Been there, done that. A lot of things that don't make sense, and yet you're getting told that there is food in the refrigerator. Just look.
There is food, but does it go together? It's like the decor in this house. Does it all go together?
I need her to throw out those chairs that are in the kitchen.
I didn't get a look at them. The Alice in Wonderland chairs?
Yes, the giant back chairs with the rhinestones.
Oh, with the rhinestones too?
Yeah, it's like when you would have like a button that's covered in fabric, except they've replaced those with rhinestones.
Well, they won't get dusty like the buttons.
I feel like that would hurt to lean
it's on
up
the
against.
back. Oh, it's not like on the back of the chair. It's like the back where your back. No, it's on the
front. You could see him while Bronwyn was sitting in the chair.
Where your back is. Yeah, I don't like that.
Uncomfortable.
It's a whole sensory situation here.
Maybe that's what it is for me. Her entire house is a sensory experience.
Yeah, I think that's true.
To make switching to the new Boost Mobile risk-free, we're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because you have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Oh.
Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa. Easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port in and auto pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
It took a lifetime to find the person you want to marry. Finding the perfect engagement ring is a lot easier. At BlueNile.com, you can find or design the ring you've always dreamed of with help from Blue Nile's jewelry experts who are on hand 24/7 to answer questions. And the ease and convenience of shopping online. For a limited time, get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com. That's $50 off with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com.
I was glad to see Angie's parents did not need to dress up for the party.
See, okay, again, this is where I thought Angie doesn't know what's going on. Clearly, she's not a mob wife if this is the sort of party that she's putting on for this. But then I saw her dad and her aunt rolled up in the car there, and I was like, wow, that's really on point. But I think that was just his car. That was just his vehicle.
The old limo from like the 80s. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like a stretch, though, was it? It wasn't a limo.
I think it was a limo. That's what I thought. No?
Am
I imagining it?
No, so like, I think it was that, like normally if it was a limo, it would be that long, but I think it was just his car.
Okay.
His vehicle. So it's like the limo, but not stretched.
Cars just used to be a lot longer.
Yeah, they were boats. Pretty much.
I guess that's what's happening.
That's what's going on.
He wore his long jacket, which It looked natural on him.
Okay.
See, that's the difference. That's giving mobster. Everyone else looked like they were impersonating someone.
Right.
It just came very naturally to him, which leads me to have my own questions about Angie again.
Yeah, because are we throwing the accusations at Angie, or is it just, what's the other connection here?
I mean, you can have family that is involved in the mafia, but you don't have to be.
Right. Not a direct connection there.
Very suspicious. But like you said, she doesn't really know what's going on in that world because she has the welcome mats at the front door. First of all, everyone's coming through the front door. That's not a mob party.
Why not?
The side or the back entrance only. No one can see you coming and going.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Is that why we never use the front door?
Of our own house?
Yeah, because we're in the mob.
No,
are we in the mob and I didn't know?
Are you confessing something?
And I didn't know
I'd be careful
yet?
what you say
I
on,
guess that's
on
true.
a recording, Corey.
Well, yeah. We can't be in the mob. We're this close to recording equipment all the time. It's no way.
No.
But I think this is where Meredith's arrival ended up ruffling some feathers because she has insulted the hosts in recent seasons.
I kind of forgot about this.
Me too, a little bit.
I knew that Meredith was the one who started the whole rumor about the Greek mafia, but I forgot the part about Sean. And since this is an anniversary party, obviously it's a little weird to invite the person who accused you of cheating on your wife with other men.
Well, not other men in that situation. It would be because then now you're making a claim about Angie.
Okay.
So
with men.
There you go.
Just cheating on your wife generally.
Yeah.
And you made it very clear that this woman was to never step foot in your home again. And yet here she is. Fur boots and all.
Sean doesn't want Meredith at the party. And now he's basically just considering hiring a security detail just in case things get out of control so he can call for security. Specifically.
Security. I don't think they hired anybody.
I don't think they hired anybody. But to drop that soundbite in of the security flashback without cutting to it for any additional information was absolutely hysterical. I lost it. The nod to that, because that was the rumors and nastiness. That was what started that.
See, I love when Meredith gets in a fight with somebody and she's had a few drinks because she is so confident in everything that she's saying. They were wrong. It's time. We got to kick them out. Security. But then this is also very same energy of Lisa just picking up a phone and then yelling at someone on the other end who may or may not actually have any capabilities of the things that you're requesting to do. She's talking about, tell me people's names so I can sue them. See, that's why they have housewife energy.
Yeah, very much so. They're setting the tone here.
A little diluted.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around because Lisa arrives with a fur, as we expected. But then Brittany rolls in with Aaron or discount bin Jared. Who are we buying from? What version?
It's giving Shein.
I don't know what that is. Okay. I don't know what that is.
Cheap and tacky, just
Alibaba?
You know
Alibaba
what?
Jared?
Yes. Alibaba.
There you go. We find out very quickly that Heather has some history with Aaron. She's made out with him.
Thank God there is someone here who can confirm Aaron's identity because Mary Cosby is fully convinced that is Jared Osmond.
Oh, she walks up and says, "Hello, Jared," to this man directly.
Well, why would she assume that he is anyone but Jared when we've had to watch Brittany cry every episode about how much she wants Jared to come to events with her, to be in a full relationship with her, that she loves him. She doesn't want to be with anybody else.
To be fair, the only name that Mary has heard out of Brittany's mouth has been Jared up to this point. And then she asked to no longer receive updates. And now she's walking up and introducing herself to Jared.
See, that's why you were out of the loop.
Yeah, you asked to not have these updates anymore. So now you don't know. This is a totally different guy. Who's Aaron? We all need to know. Why did he look so familiar to me? I was racking my brain, trying to figure out, who does this dude look like? He looked a little coked up to me.
Okay.
So that was adding another dimension here. And I was like, okay, but why is it so familiar in that regard as well? Natalia Grace's adoptive father.
No.
Did it not?
That's exactly who he looks like.
That is exactly who he looked like.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like he's available for hire.
Because they kept talking to him. I don't know, there was less theatrics than Natalia Grace's father, for sure.
He needs to be part of this cast.
I think he could pull it off.
He could go toe-to-toe with Meredith and Lisa.
He drives around a ridiculous sports car. He's all about image.
This Aaron was actually a lot more subtle than he would have been.
Yeah, he was very subdued. Didn't really interact with a lot of people.
No, he came from central casting.
How many times do you have to have people coming up to you being like, oh, I thought you were Jared. I thought this guy, I've heard about Jared. I don't know you. That can only happen so many times before you just kind of shut down mentally at an event with someone.
He has to realize that he's just her date for the evening. Like, this is an arrangement.
If you didn't know before you showed up here, you have to know now. Mary's still confused, though. She's conferring with Meredith. Are we sure? I'm pretty sure that's Jared, even though they said it's not Jared. She's already introduced herself and said hello to Jared, who was Aaron. It's not Jared. Osmond or not? That is the question.
It was impressive that Meredith was able to suss out that it was not Jared Osmond, because she's seeing double a lot of the time.
She wasn't sure. She was doubting.
Squinted.
She still, yeah. At first, she was questioning, too, because Mary was pretty convincing at the start of that. But yeah, after a quick Google search, confirmed. Visual confirmation. It's not the same guy.
Did we miss what happened when Meredith first showed up to the party? Because she made a beeline for Whitney.
Oh, right. That was when she had her sunglasses on. She was leaving them on. It was still the cocktail hour.
So they had that convo before the party where it seemed like Meredith was very clear on the fact that the information that Whitney has is wrong. And yet she gets to the party and the first thing she does is walk up to Whitney and try to encourage her to confront Lisa today.
You should definitely go talk to Lisa about it, though, even though your information's total garbage. And I know it's wildly inaccurate, but I feel like you should bring it up with Lisa the first chance you get.
Tonight.
Yeah, like here, as soon as she arrives. But then we got a couple other fights that are forming, too.
Everyone is trying to ruin Angie's anniversary party. I feel like the worst one was Bronwyn, because she comes up to her and starts talking to her about...
She's talking to Angie
yes.
directly, like at Angie's party.
It's Angie's party. She's trying to entertain people, and Bronwyn pulls her aside and starts talking about how she heard through the grapevine that Angie said some nasty things about Lisa's parenting, and that has now gotten back to Lisa. So she thinks, A, that she should go talk to Lisa about it because she's very upset, and B, you should totally be mad at Heather Gay because Heather's the one who told everyone about it.
Heather is the grapevine in this circumstance. So that's the issue that Bronwyn has. And then Bronwyn didn't like that Heather had called her out for saying stuff.
Right. Well, of course, there's a motive behind it.
Yeah, we find a personal vendetta here because Bronwyn wants to hold Heather accountable the way that Heather was trying to hold Bronwyn accountable. And so Bronwyn didn't like that.
See, this is the least mob wife energy of everyone of the evening because she's being a rat.
Yeah, it's too over the top. It's very overt, and she's being very upfront about it with Angie. I didn't like it.
Two thumbs down, Bronwyn.
Yeah, it's not so good.
And she's like trying very hard to lead the horse to water because at first Angie seemed like she was upset with Lisa. And then Bronwyn was able to get her to the point that she was trying to get her to, which was, you need to go talk to Heather about this because Heather is spreading your business amongst the group.
And Angie did. She went and talked directly to Heather, but then as soon as Angie got over there, she introduced Bronwyn as the source of this information. So then Heather immediately was trying to get Bronwyn involved in the conversation too. We need to all talk about this then if that's where your information is coming from. Heather was in 2 fights though, because like this was happening and then there was also the whole other side thing between Brittany and Lisa. They were kind of trying to clear something up from the ziplining fight where she was upset about how Lisa had ruined her chances with the Osmond, with Jared. And so they were coming to terms with that.
I could not with that whole thing because now, of course, she isn't mad at Lisa anymore because she's temporarily not with Jared Osmond.
She's got a new guy now. Yeah, so it's fine.
It's okay that you texted him, that
Water
you said some mean things.
under the bridge at this point. So, yeah, then Mary Cosby gets into the mix, though. And then she kind of gets into it with Lisa about how Lisa defends Heather.
We have a reuniting of everyone who was at the zip line the other day. And, of course, the way that ended was Lisa, Heather, and Mary yelling at each other. And this conversation was really weird because at first they were not agreeing on things. And it seemed like Heather was getting really heated with Mary.
Yeah, because Heather jumped in too. So, it was the conversation started at like a 10 and then it went up to 100 and then it dialed back down very quickly.
It was just over.
It just boiled up, boiled over, and burned out. Sizzled right out.
I guess the way it ended was they just got everything out that they wanted to say to each other. And that, I guess, makes things better for Mary because she doesn't want Heather to be two-faced. So is that how we got to a conclusion here? That if you're saying it to my face, I'm okay with it. Just don't say it behind my back?
It was a direct confrontation that took place. It did take a lot out of Mary, though, because then she had to go take a load off here and go sit down by some children and then catch them up on all the drama that happened.
I don't know who the other child was, but the other one was Electra. And they were like, what happened? She's like, oh, women.
Oh, my goodness. What a horrible fight. It made my feet hurt. Like, that's what happened.
She kept it PG with the kids.
That was good.
Yeah, she didn't get them involved in it, but it was comical to watch her talk to the children about the fight she just got into in front of them.
Aside from just generally speaking demeaning towards women in general, of on a high level overview, but
Mary's trying her best.
That's probably the best thing that Mary could have said in that interaction. I will give her that.
This Halloween, ghoul all out with Instacart. Whether you're hunting for the perfect costume, eyeing that giant bag of candy, or casting spells with eerie decor, we've got it all in one place. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Service fees, other fees, and additional terms apply. Instacart, bringing the store to your door this Halloween.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes in detail.
But Brittany is really struggling for screen time, so her knight in shining armor walks through the door. It's Jared. Jared Osmond walks in and scares the hell out of Brittany. She didn't know he was going to be here. Nobody knew he was going to be here, especially Angie. Angie's running this party. She didn't know he was going to be here.
I didn't know if I believed it at first, but the way she started sobbing, I was like, all right, this woman is not in on the whole thing.
She was crying. It was upsetting to her. And the look of shock when he first walked in and somebody came over and told her, hey, guess who just walked in? When she saw him, that felt real. I feel like she didn't know.
She kind of recoiled.
Yeah,
She jumped.
A jump scare that happened there.
Well, at first I had suspected, she brought a date because she knew that Jared was going to come to this party and she was going to be there with her date and he would see her and be like, oh, she's moved on. And it was a way to get back at him. But that was not what was happening here.
My theory was it was Mary Cosby who invited him and she just pretended like she didn't know that Aaron wasn't Jared and that was her cover.
I don't know. I think Mary Cosby doesn't have the time or the facilities to do something like that.
I don't think she cares. Yeah.
She doesn't give a shit enough.
No, who invited? It's Justin, Whitney's husband, Justin. As like an afterthought, he said that they had good charcuterie. No, he told him that Brittany was there. Why would you do that?
Who invites random people who were not already invited to your friend's 25th wedding anniversary party to come over just to stop by?
So did Justin not know that Jared and Brittany weren't together anymore?
No, I think he's very up to speed on what's been going on with Jared.
He says that he's friends with Jared.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah, I don't think I
feel like
that.
Andy Cohen got on the phone.
And this was just very strange to me to say that this was it. And to text to say, hey, Brittany's here. You should come by. That's weird. That's a weird thing to do.
Brittany is trying so hard to have something happen here. Like from an interesting storyline perspective. But her only story is this relationship with this guy. And I hope that this is the end of it because she's crying in the corner. Everyone's trying to console her. I can't handle that.
She's melting down. She's breaking down. Meanwhile, Angie is catering to Jared, which I thought that was weird because this dude just crashed your party and she's showing him around to all the amenities that are available and the food and the drinks and make yourself at home.
I also didn't love that she didn't kick him out. Because Lisa's saying to Brittany, you should go up to him and tell him that he needs to leave. Why didn't Angie do that?
She's the host of the party. Yeah, you think that she would take care of something like this. Well, they went very different routes. There's some of the folks are helping Brittany try to navigate this meltdown while Angie is hand-holding Jared through the buffet line.
Eventually they go outside to talk to one another.
She can't quit the Osmond.
No.
This is it. This is all she has.
Nothing good even happens. It just ends with her saying he could stay at the party and he wants her to enjoy her date, which is clearly not going to happen now.
This is just, it's such a junior high relationship.
Yes, it's very immature.
Every single way, every situation. This was somebody from class had a birthday party and then he found out, so he showed up and now he's upset you and ruined your time with this other guy who you don't really want to be here with anyway because you wish you were here with him.
Man, poor Erin, though, because they come back inside and she now complains to him that she was very taken aback by Jared showing up here tonight.
As was I. Yeah. Oh, man. Poor Erin.
Yeah.
Just a real bummer, I think, for him in every way, shape, and form.
They've been building to the confrontation of the evening, which is Whitney finally confronting Lisa about the whole Prism situation, but not the one that you thought that she was upset about.
Oh, no, not the social media post. We're talking about a very specific item from the Prism line.
For some reason, she chooses to lead with the fact that Lisa left her sunburst necklace behind in the hotel room in Milwaukee.
Sunburst or Sunray? I think she was calling it Sunray.
Whatever. Who gives a Who cares?
I believe you left your Sunray behind.
Some overpriced Alibaba jewelry.
Yeah, I did that. I left that behind by accident. It was a total accident. I must have mistakenly thrown it into the garbage can in the hotel room. Still completely boxed and wrapped.
I don't know what she could have said that would have made Whitney feel better. At least she didn't pretend that she didn't know she did it.
She basically did, because as soon as she said, that was on accident, definitely an accident. Whitney knew on accident.
Well, she knew that it was done vindictively on purpose from the beginning.
Lisa. So by her saying it was on accident, you're still lying. You're lying right to Whitney's face.
All right,
she knows.
Fair. Well, she already is assuming that Lisa's going to continue to lie to her face, because the second thing she comes out of the gate with is, I have confirmation that you were the one behind the rumors about my business.
Which she doesn't. So I don't know why she came at Lisa with this, because not only did you not have confirmation, you also had Meredith who said, no, you better double check that too. So there are multiple people who are telling you, do not come at this as truth, because you're coming from a place where you are mistaken.
And she doesn't really ask Lisa, because Lisa says to her, are you accusing me or are you asking me?
Am I under arrest or am I in custody? Yeah, these are the questions that need to be asked.
Very mob wife-esque. If you're going to say something, I want to know my rights first.
Okay, yeah, we have to do that. Well, I guess, is Meredith there to read the rights? She just sidles up silently and appears next to Whitney for the rest of this conversation.
Doesn't say anything.
Didn't say a word. It's still just Whitney and Lisa screaming at each other.
Lisa's screaming that she didn't do this, and she's going to sue whoever said that she did.
And she is officially requesting a formal opening of an investigation to anyone and everyone who was involved in this discussion and these horrible accusations.
There's some random man on the phone who's just hearing them scream at each other, and she's trying to give him instructions.
Can't hear anything.
No.
They are at a party. The background noise, the rest of the conversations that are happening, you cannot hear a word.
She's also telling Whitney that she's going to have her pay the bill.
And so then Lisa isn't really getting anywhere with Whitney. So then she goes over to Whitney's husband.
I thought that she was going to leave the party.
Oh, no.
But she just had to get a word in over there when she was walking by Justin.
So then she goes over and starts talking shit about Whitney to Justin. And then that upsets Justin, which then we have to get security involved. It's a hold me back, bro type of situation.
It looks like there's a big fight, but we don't know.
You don't think so? Not a fight.
It looks like there were a lot of people getting involved.
No, there was a kerfuffle, a sort of rapscallion that was taking place there. But no, a fight? I don't think so. Maybe it was like a rumble in the West Side Story sort of way.
Well, I guess we'll find out next episode, because this was one of those to be continued end cards. And we got no preview of what's going to happen in episode 7.
No idea, but I feel like we're going to pick up here.
You have that feeling.
I get that feeling. That's my suspicion.
I guess we'll see next week. Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast or leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Be sure to chat with us about the episode on our Discord channel by joining our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next time.
To make switching to the new Boost Mobile risk-free, we're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because you have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Oh.
Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa. Easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port in and auto pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
How weird does it feel to be called someone's fiancé? The first time you hear it, you do a double take. From there, let's enjoy this moment turns into we're planning a fall wedding. That's where Zola comes in. From a venue and vendor discovery tool that matches you with your dream team to save the dates, websites, and an easy-to-use registry, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.